Gwenzi rinofuta pasina moto ini ndochka, ndochka, ndochka. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to this edition of Lessons from the Patriarchs and the Prophets, as we learn from the patriarchs in the Bible and the prophets in the Bible. And today, I think you almost know what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about Moses, the man who used to stammer, but God was able to use him for great and mighty things. Remember, when Moses was born, little boys were being persecuted, but his sister and his mother made sure that he was kept safe. And you know where they put him? They put him in a basket made of reeds and put them in the river. And guess what? The daughter of Pharaoh saw Moses and says, wow, what a beautiful baby. And they kept him. What I like about baby Moses, while he was no longer a baby anymore, because he was put in the hands of Pharaoh's daughter, and he had all the delicacies of the house of Pharaoh, and he was actually going to be one of the heirs into the house of Pharaoh. But Moses never forgot where he came from, because remember, when he saw the children of Israel fighting against each other, he said, how can brothers fight each other? But when he was known to be a true Israelite, he ran away and he went into the wilderness. But when he was in the wilderness, that's when God showed himself unto Moses. What I like about this experience, when he saw the burning bush and it was not even consumed, and he was in the presence of God, you know what he said? He said, the place where you are is very holy. Remove your shoes. And he did exactly that. But God wanted to use Moses for great and mighty things. And he says, my people are in dire stress and in need of someone who can redeem them from their situation. Let me tell you, when you cry to God, God is surely going to send help. And Moses went to see Pharaoh and told him that the God of heaven has said, let my people go. God never wanted us to be captives of the situations where we are. We are captives of difficult, different situations, but God would want to set us free. And when God sets us free, we will be free indeed. And God used Moses. And remember, when God sent Moses, Moses was so scared. He said, God, I cannot speak. I stammer. I have nothing. And God said, I am going to use you in the way that you are. And of course, what is it that you have in your hand? And it's just a rod. And God said, I will also use the rod. Let me say something. The limitation is only in your mind, but God can still use you in different and mighty ways, even in a way that you think it's only a limitation. And God does not want to use great and mighty things. Whatever you have in your hand, God can use it to do great and mighty things. While you remember, Pharaoh refused to let the children of Israel go. And God had to do a 10-plague series on Pharaoh until Pharaoh says, well, I can't keep the children of God anymore. Please, Moses, take them to the promised land, the land that flows with milk and honey. And as they are going to the promised land, they had some many difficulties along the way. One of the biggest difficulties was when the people left Egypt to go to the promised land. The mind was still in Egypt, even though they were physically going to the land that flows with milk and honey. Let me tell you, boys and girls, one of the great things that you need to do is to renew your mind, that you might set your things on God and God alone. That's when God can truly set you free. But eventually, they got to one of the biggest hurdles that we find in the story of Exodus. It was a big sea. It's called the Red Sea. And the children of Israel cried and said, but God, what have you brought us in the wilderness to die? And Moses reminded them, hey guys, did you forget it was God who gave you manna that came from heaven above? And your clothes have not even worn out. Your shoes keep growing as you grow. So God is able to do more than enough for us. And God said to Moses, use what is in your hand. And he pointed at the Red Sea, and the Red Sea parted. And the children of Israel walked on dry ground as if there was never a sea. And remember what Moses says. He says, see the salvation of the Lord today, and fear nothing, because God is with you. Well, boys and girls, what are the lessons that we can learn from this patriarch Moses? Number one, when we are dedicated to God, God will save us. Even though children were being persecuted, but because Moses was dedicated to God, he was kept safe and sure. Number two, let me tell you, boys and girls, we need to be faithful to the mission of God. No matter the pleasures of this world, we must not refuse our faith in God. But Moses chose rather to suffer affliction than to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Not only that, Moses was able to be used by God amidst even when he considered himself not worthy. Our worthy of God's work is not according to the men's eyes, but it is what God sees in us. We might not see our potential, but God is able to see what we can do. And finally, I want to encourage you, boys and girls, do not be afraid of the situation that are around you. Surrender your will to the will of God. He will part the Red Seas of your life and you will see the salvation of God. Remember, always be connected to God and he will do mighty and great things. And just use what God has already given you. For Moses, it was just a stick and God asked him, what is in your hand? So I ask you today, what is it that God has blessed you? Use that to see the mighty works of God. God bless you as you continue to be used of God. Amen.